Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing another Kickstarter comic review that was sent to me by my good friend Chris, aka the Mount Vernon Kid. Chris, thank you once again for this comic. And today we're going to be reviewing The Black Hand. So what is The Black Hand? The Black Hand is basically what you get if you mix Claymore, the anime Claymore, with The Conjuring. That's kind of the way to look at it. So the the story is, and it's actually pretty cool too. I actually dig this story. Is that basically this comic is this comic is centered around a warrior named Victoria, and Victoria has a special ability due to being almost killed and left with a black hand. Basically, that black hand allows her to just automatically destroy anything unliving, and she's more or less sent by a holy order to destroy any kind of unknown or demonic entities. And she's sent to a faraway kingdom in the frozen north, where a lord's child, where a nobleman's child is being harassed by a unknown spirit that wants to take him away into the cold. While this is all going on, it basically leads to a dark conspiracy that Victoria is being drawn into. So like I said, the big thing with this is that if you're a fan of like Claymore or Berserk, it definitely gives a lot of vibes like that. This comic definitely has a lot of vibes of, like I said, Berserk or Claymore, or as my girlfriend affectionately calls that anime and manga, Crymore, because that's what you'll be doing. Also, like I said, it has a haunting vibe to it, like a very like haunted house kind of vibe. Like I said, like that's why I brought up like The Conjuring, where this series takes more of a horror route. This does have some action route to it, but really it's more of a haunting story than it like a medieval haunting story. It's a very, very nicely done comic. I think the tension in here is very well done. I really do like that this comic has like a lot of is atmospheric. It's alone. It's cold. You almost like feel the cold in a lot of times. Like it really does feel like this is like a empty, like if you lose it here, you are fucked kind of feeling. That's what I really like about it, is that it has this just kind of feeling of like forlorn, and you are out there. Like you feel it. Sorry about the fucking chair. Oh god, I need to remind myself to get it. Damn it, fucking chair. So professional on this channel, I know. Anyway, so like I was saying, this comic really... Also, the artwork is very well done. I would like to find like a decent one, because this comic is not good for kids. Like, this comic is not for children. This is a very, like, beautifully done comic. I don't know if you can see that, but, like, yeah. That's how they, especially like how they do the blues and the whites and blues in the artwork, especially when it comes to the ice and snow. Because again, it going back to what I said, this really does give you this feeling of you are isolated, and Victoria is isolated, and it does have a lot of action to it, but the main thing is that this comic depends more on Victoria's detective skills and trying to figure out what the connection is to the quote-unquote child, and the haunting that's going around out there in the frozen north. I will say that the comic does have a lot of like tropes, like the jerk ass nobleman, the mystery itself. I kind of predicted. I will be honest that the mystery itself was a little predictable. I felt like the mystery was kind of on the... Like, I kind of figured it out. Like, there was a line in here, and I was like, oh, I see where we're going now. But having said that, there is a lot of great mystery and intrigue, and there's also some pretty bloody violence in here, too. Again, going back to, like, Claymore and Berserk. I really did enjoy this. This volume does end on a cliffhanger, but that's more for like the second volume, like more setup for the second volume. Honestly, like you could read this comic and be done with the story. This was like the first 4 issues, so you could just read this comic, these first 4 issues, and kind of be done with the story on a whole. But yeah, I would be open to another volume. Like I would genuinely be open to reading the second volume from who's this from? Flatline Comics. So the writer of this, Erica J. Heflin, with art by Freyes Menez. I'm gonna butcher these names, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is a bloody comic. It's also a great horror comic, and you usually don't get a lot of, like these days you don't get a lot of, especially in most media, you don't get a lot of comics where it mixes a period piece and a horror well, let alone in a comic. You hardly see that these days in a movie, unless it's called The Witch, with 2 V's. But yeah, so do I recommend The Black Hand? Yeah, totally. I absolutely 100% fucking hate this chair. As I was saying. I 100% am totally down with this comic. I really enjoyed it. So thanks once again, Chris, for sending me this comic. But anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time, The Multiverse.